Welcome to the NASCAR Hotspot Podcast. I'm Caden, joined here by Troy and Chris, and we're gonna go everything. Oh, we're gonna go over everything Kansas related. We're gonna maybe talk about some throwbacks. We're gonna go over some of the. What is this? Like the third of the way through the season, almost halfway through the regular season already. So
Yeah.
we're getting there. We're getting there, and then we're gonna do our fantasy picks like we always do, and then we're gonna have a special guest later on. We'll tell you more about him later. So let's start it off. Troy, how was your weekend, bro?
My weekend was pretty good. It's a step up for most weekends, and yeah, the racing was not as bad as I thought it would be. Chris, how are you been doing?
Kansas seemed entertaining. Yeah, it's definitely provided why it's probably
The best mile and a half.
the second best mile and a half. That and Homestead are right on top of each other.
Okay. Forgot
Yeah.
Homestead existed.
Yeah, those
If we're
two are
talking,
right on top of each other.
if we're talking cookie cutters, Kansas.
Oh
is
yeah,
the
if we're
best.
talking cookie cutters, yeah, Kansas is
We're
definitely.
like intermediate, like Homestead's right here, and like the second best is like down here.
Oh no, Kansas is right up there with Homestead.
Kansas is really
Nah.
good. Kansas
Yeah.
is better at night though. It has to be
Kansas-
the night race.
Kansas is
This
the only
race was
cookie cutter.
okay.
Kansas is the only cookie cutter that provides the
Good racing.
dog water mile and a half package to actually look somewhat nice.
Yeah. I mean, the next best mile and a half other than those two, I would say is Vegas. Vegas isn't that bad. I like Vegas. Not the spring race. I like the fall Vegas race.
Charlotte with the package is not good.
Oh, Charlotte
Texas
is brutal.
is just bad. Texas
Is bad no matter what
Texas
you
is
do.
bad.
Atlanta's bad too.
It's bad.
Oh, I despise Atlanta. Atlanta's like my least favorite track in all of NASCAR. By far.
God. Oh my god.
Can't drive there in NASCAR Heat 5, and I hate the racing in real life.
I'm getting the hang of it in NASCAR. I'm proud of myself. It's a little bit high, and you just
None of my discs work they haven't been working for like a solid like 2 weeks now. I've been pretty depressed.
We're gonna jump right into it. We have some news that came out. So first off, Calling Racing announced that in 2022 they're gonna be full-time cup racing. The driver has not been announced, but it is not too early to speculate who it'll be.
Who do you think it'll be, Troy?
Yeah, who do you think?
I'm gonna say it'll be Justin Haley. Just because like Hasgrove doesn't have that much experience with them. They're kind of cup driver, and like Allmendinger, he has the experience, of course, but like he's a little old, and like it's easier to just take a younger driver such as Justin Haley, even though he's not that good.
Which
That
one
is-
is Gralla older or is
Haley's
Haley's only like
Haley's older.
22. I'll look it up right now.
I
No,
thought they're
Gralla's
both
like
22.
Yeah, they both are. They mentioned that in a race where the Talladega. I think Haley's older by like 3-4 months. Haley
Haley
said
and-
it was older.
Nah, Haley and Growler was 22. So
Well, yeah, but
Yeah, which one's older, numbnuts?
I don't know. Look at the month.
oh
I
my
don't feel like looking up the
God.
month wrong.
Oh, me and Chris both knew they were both 22. It was the whole point of you looking them up was to find what month.
Haley's
they
like
were
6
born
months
in.
older.
Okay, I
Okay.
called it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
I
told
think
you
Gralla's,
guys.
Gralla's younger than me by a few weeks. Haley's older than me by a couple months.
I think they'll put Gralla in it. I don't think they'll put Haley in it. I think Haley will stay down in Xfinity until Kurt retires and then go to the one car.
God, that is such a waste of the one car.
It's a waste of
It
Chip
is.
Ganassi racing anyway.
Oh my
It's
God,
that-
Chip Ganassi 2022.
Well, we don't
That'd
know
be
if
the
Kurt's
worst.
retiring. I don't think he's going to retire at the end of this year.
No, I think he's going to
I
do
hope
1
he
year
does.
with the.
Yeah,
Next
1
gen.
year next gen. That's
yeah.
what most drivers are doing. That's what Truex is doing. Truex doesn't like it. He's going to retire. Probably announce it like after the first mile and a half.
He's going to be like, this shit sucks. Everything about this sucks. I'm retiring. I'm done at the end of this season.
Completely forgot. Next gen is being announced Wednesday. That is 2 days
Oh my God.
until that
It
is.
Although
we've-
they all got
exciting.
leaked already, except for the Toyota.
They got leaked. No, they got leaked, but we don't really know everything about them yet. I'm more
Sad.
interested on what the package is gonna be rather than what the car is gonna look like. The car
Well,
looking is important, but I want to know they're gonna race like.
The Chevy had the big ass spoiler that we see at the mile and a half nowadays, and then the Ford had the the small blade. So
they could be
not sure.
showing one of each type of track, like a super
Yeah.
speedway, a short track, and a mile and a half.
Yeah.
That's true.
I
It's
think,
very exciting stuff.
yeah, I think Growler goes to the. Did they announce the
16?
number? I assume it's
Now
gonna be
I'm
16.
assuming 16 because 11's taken, 10's taken. That's about it. You know, they pretty much have made their name, I guess, with 16 in Cup.
Yeah,
No reason
mean,
to change it.
I don't think it's gonna be Allmendinger. I don't see any way it will be. He's too old and he's not as good as people think he is. And I don't think it'll be Haley because, well, I have no reasoning for it to be Haley. I just think it'll be Growler. Well, I just want it to be Growler more than Haley.
We're gonna go on to our next piece of news, and this was a very controversial one, and that's to release the All-Star format, and it's like it's a huge gimmick, and it's a whole mess. It is so stupid, and it doesn't need to be this complicated. But
Hang on. This can be summed up in one word only. Texas.
yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
it's
Did you hear? No, did you hear what they're doing to the car show? Aren't they doing something different?
They're putting
the-
they're basically putting the super
Restrict plate,
speedway taper
super
spacer
speedway.
on it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think it could be interesting. Honestly, I
It's
think it
gonna
could be.
stupid.
It's gonna be a wreck. I think it'll be a wreck fest. Honestly, I don't think it'll be. I mean, how long is it? Isn't it like 6 runs with 15 laps?
I don't even. It's something stupid.
It's
Just
so
utterly stupid.
It's overly complicated. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
Just
Can't be as
utterly-
bad. Can't be as bad as Bristol's last year. Oh wait, yeah, it's probably gonna be worse actually.
it's
It'll be
gonna be way
worse.
worse.
It'll be worse. It's at Texas. It's at Texas.
And then, what is the next news? Is it Lassard?
We can talk about that.
Yeah, that's next news. You want to talk about it?
I'm sad,
I
bro.
don't think Kaden wants to talk about it. I mean, I don't think any of us really want to talk about it. That kind of sucks.
All right, so
Yeah.
sad news that came out of GMS Racing this morning. That sponsorship fell through for Rafael Lassard, and he will no longer be in the 24 truck for the rest of the season, which kind of sucks because he's had fast trucks all year. He's shown that he's capable of winning and possibly being a championship contender, but he was 19 points below the playoff cut line, and now he'll no longer be competing for the rest of the season in the 24. That is, if he doesn't get like a smaller ride or something like that.
I think that's stupid.
It's
I think why would they announce he's gonna run full time if they didn't have the sponsorship too? I think it was a stupid to run 5 trucks anyways. And Zane Smith, I'm not saying he's a bad driver, but he hasn't performed whatsoever this year. Barely has Sheldon Creed. So I think GMS, this is the downfall of GMS. It starts with Lassard right now. Calling it.
Yeah, I didn't notice how much of a downfall they've been going through, but like they're really in a really tough situation. I saw someone compare it to Red Horse Racing, where they were like winning, competing for championships, and all of a sudden they just slowly closed down at like middle of 2017. That's kind of what's happening, you know,
because they have zero
dominant-
sponsorship.
Yeah.
They have barely any sponsorship for any of the drivers.
Yeah, and then there's
Who was their other driver? Is it Tyler Ankrum?
Yeah,
They
Tyler
kept
Ankrum, Chase
Ankrum over
Purdy.
Lassard.
because
They kept Purdy over Lassard.
because Ankrum and Purdy have their own sponsorship. So if you can't
Lassard
just like
really got robbed. Lassard
he
got
did get
robbed.
robbed.
Oh, I feel bad for Lassard, especially since he's like my favorite truck series driver. And then I don't think he's gonna race any other race for the next rest of the season. I don't see any rides that open up. And even if it's gonna be a ride that opens up, it's gonna be a small team ride that's gonna run 30th with a mechanical failure 5 laps in. God. GMS is my least favorite team in all of NASCAR.
And one last thing, so Ryan Reed it wasn't like confirmed or announced. But
Yeah, that happened right away.
Yeah,
No, that happened right away. What the hell
it
was
was
up with
like
that?
before. No, but
They
it's not
have
even
that
confirmed
slime
by
out.
like GMS, but it's on like the roster, from the takeover 24.
So
But that's only for
stupid.
this
Like you're gonna
24.
replace Ryan. Why Ryan Reed? Why not just keep Lassard
Sponsorship.
in the truck
Sponsorship.
with no sponsorship?
They can't afford that. that. They can't.
Well, they can't
not-
afford
yeah.
having 5 trucks, but they decide to do that. They
Yeah.
decide to keep 2 untalented truck drivers. They like
Tyler
no. Tyler Ankrum, Chase Purdy, and
Chase
then
Hey,
Purdy
none
isn't
of the
doing that bad.
Chase Purdy isn't doing bad. He's still doing better than Tyler Ankrum.
No, Chase Purdy's doing worse. Come on. At least Tyler Anker's been like upping his performance. Like Chase Purdy hasn't done.
Oh, he's getting top 20s, Chris. Did you hear that? He's
he
upping his
is.
performance.
He
Oh
is
my
getting
god,
top
he's getting
20.
the top 20 in a truck that should be top 10.
Yeah, but me and Troy were talking about that whole team had a downfall. They're like the Stuart Haas racing of the
But worse. Well, I don't know about worse, honestly.
worst.
Sheldon Creed's up there, so
He's up there. Zane Smith has been sucking this year.
Yeah, he's been pretty mediocre. It's kind of sad.
Oh, he's 7th in points. He's not doing terrible. It's just that John Hunter Nemechek is running every race. So
yeah, he's overpowered, bro. That's crazy. I'm
yeah,
surprised I
like
didn't
you want to see
that
the
coming.
definition of OP? That is John Hunter in a truck this year.
Yeah, that's all he needed. He just
On God, that
needed
man
some
best
shit
not
riding.
win CTMP this year. On God.
If they go,
If
the
they
border
go.
needs to open up still.
Cool question, but stay at the truck series.
Don't get flipped again.
I hope Lassard gets a one race deal, races Canada, and wins. I hope he wrecks John Hunter Nemechek for the win, and then he also wrecks like every GMS
Rhodes.
truck. No, Ben Rhodes hasn't done anything. I like Ben Rhodes. He's like a top 5 favorite truck driver for me.
Do you forget last year? Like all of a sudden,
Oh.
I didn't hate him last year. I just didn't really like him. I like him this year. I mean, he's more mature this year than he was last year.
Do you want to go into a review real quick? Because like, there's not that much to review.
I mean, really, we can skip the whole first 2 stages and the first
truck
half.
race.
well, the
Truck
truck race
race.
was just
Truck
Kyle
race,
Busch.
blah, blah, blah. Kyle Busch, John Hunter Nemechek. Same old, same old. Kyle Busch wins this time.
This time. When he
Crazy thing
time.
is,
in reality,
I
he didn't
watched
look
the
like he
truck
was going to.
race. I watched the truck race, but I completely forgot what even happened in it.
I didn't even
There was
touch the truck race.
the second to last restart. Kyle fell to like 4th. and
Oh,
everyone
yeah,
thought the
I've
race
watched
was
the
over.
finish. I
Yeah, the
forgot about
finish was pretty good. Chastain
Well-
and Hill just threw their
Yeah.
wins away.
Two most
And
stupid
Kyle Busch just-
drivers like in NASCAR.
Chastain actually used his brain in the Cup race, though.
He
Yeah,
did.
He's actually been
And then he
racing,
fell
like,
right
last
back.
2 weeks. He's been pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Talladega got him a lot of momentum.
Well, and then he raced the truck race, so he's like, "All right, I know what I'm kind of doing, so I think I can do this."
Yeah, I
And
think I
he
can
actually
do
looked
this.
half decent in the Cup race.
Yeah. I mean Christian Eckes in 98 with 4th. That's pretty good.
Oh, forgot he
got a
was
top
running.
10. Lassard got 8th.
Yep,
His
8th, but he's
final
getting
race.
fired.
Haley Deegan had a good day. She was top 10 at some points, but the restarts didn't really help her.
Yeah, that's the one thing that she struggled at, like more than anything else this season, is restarts.
Yeah. That's pretty much about it. I feel like Sheldon Creed had problems, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Cup race, I think we can go on to.
Yeah, we
Truck
can
race,
go on the
nothing
cup race.
Cup race started off boring, and it was kind of a reminiscent of what we saw last year with Harvick and Logano. Like, it started off like that. Like, Byron was way faster than Keselowski, but he could never get around him. And then he kept going for the pass, which held them both up. And then all of a sudden, here comes like Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson. I'm pretty sure Reddick was there too. Was he not?
Yeah,
All of
Reddick
them
was
were
top
there.
5 early. I don't know what
Yeah.
happened to his car, but he just fell
Reddick
off. He had
and
a-
Byron
he had
both
that.
fell
He
off.
had that
Yeah.
penalty later in the race.
Oh, did he?
He was the
I
one that
guess I
had the
forgot
tire,
about that. Oh, yeah.
which
Yep.
that'll be fun to talk about when we get to that.
That's gonna.
Yeah,
that's
we'll
gonna be
get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah,
Kyle
Um,
Busch goes around the bottom, passes both Byron and Keselowski. And
Yeah,
Busch,
that was
that's his
crazy.
first. That was my favorite, probably one of my favorite stage win battles of the year. It's up there with like Vegas with Keselowski and Larson.
Oh, yeah. That was a really good stage finish. I enjoyed watching that.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
stage 2 was literally
Stage
the
2 was
opposite.
completely green.
stage 2 was
Larson
Larson
just
going,
dominated and pulled away.
Oh, I hate Larson at mile and a half
Suarez,
now.
Suarez's team put him on a strategy that just killed him because he was like top 15, and then he stayed out for like the whole entire run and pitted it, and then we're 30th. It's like, what was the point of that? But they rebooted. But we'll get to that.
Kyle Larson gets the stage win. I think we all really expected him that too. And then stage 3 starts is a good restart, and then just got strung out again. Then green flag pit stop started rolling around, and drivers were coming in. And here comes, there's the whole typical strategy. Some drivers are going to stay out for an extra like 10, 20 laps. Here comes Tyler Reddick down pit road. His crew member loses a tire. It's in the grass blatantly. We all can see it. So Chris Buescher out there is running his laps. He's like, okay, we're going to get a caution here. But there was no caution. I would have been fine if they threw the caution immediately. But we go around 1 lap. There's no caution. Okay, now we're getting to like 5 laps, and there's still no caution. I'm sitting here like, what are they doing? And we get to 10 laps, still no caution. We get like 20 laps in. Buescher comes down pit road finally, and they throw the caution. They screwed Buescher. I get it.
Yeah.
They didn't want Buescher to screw the field. But, I mean, it's a safety violation. They can't just not throw the caution.
Do you know what NASCAR said their reasoning for that was?
What?
To let the race flow with green flag pit stops.
Yeah, they said it when they first found the tire there. They're like, NASCAR usually wants green flag pit stops to all cycle through, and then throw the caution. But it's like, if it's that big of a safety violation,
they would have thrown the caution right away.
That is caution worthy, then throw the caution right away. But if it's not that big of a deal that you're able to wait 25 laps through the caution, then what's the point of throwing the caution?
People saying NASCAR is inconsistent, and then they're like, oh, no, they're not. And then it's like, prime example.
That was one of the worst. That was artificial racing. That was them producing. They knew what they were doing. They were trying to get it as close as they can before Buescher came down pit road, which would be just prime time for chaos, which ended up causing chaos and ended drivers' days ultimately. They costed teams money. And I think NASCAR should find themselves, like Eric Estep said, $50K, and then give $25K to Roush Fenway and give $25K to JTG Dougherty because they screwed their days. And what ended up happening was both Preece and Stenhouse would DNF from that because string of cautions. Buescher still finished like 12th.
He finished 8th. He got a top 10 out of it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he got a top 10 out of it.
Who knows? Maybe he would have won. We don't know. He probably wouldn't have, but maybe he would have won. But it's artificial racing because NASCAR decided, you know what? Not feeling a caution right now. Let's just wait.
Well, we restart, and Hamlin takes the lead on the bottom from Larson, and he's doing what Logano did last year, just like blocking where Larson went and everything there. And then off of 4, Hamlin chokes it and just slams the outside wall. And like a half a lap later, he blows a tire. And there's another caution. I think that sets up for like a restart with like 5 to go.
Very reminiscent of Kansas last year, huh, Chris?
Oh, very reminiscent.
I forget what happened. I wouldn't know what happened when Stenhouse first spun. Cindric.
He got loose and then
got loose under
slid
Cindric.
Up. Yeah, and then hit Cindric, and then coming down the back straight, he just spun.
Yeah.
And
Cindric was having a freaking good day too.
He was top 15.
God.
Yeah, he's doing garbage. I'm joking. Please, I'm sorry.
He was running like 15. Hey, at least no one was doing as bad as Matt Mills, and I called it last week. He went down a lap within the first 10 laps of the race.
They mentioned his name. Terrible. They mentioned his name once. That was in pre-race.
Yeah,
like Matt Mills. Yeah, that was the last time we're talking about him.
He finished 12 laps down. And he wasn't involved in anything.
Well, yeah, because he was so slow, he couldn't keep up.
He finished 39th.
Live Fast Motorsports, living up to their name, huh?
Well, that was BJ McLeod's team.
That was BJ McLeod.
He was co-owning and owning a team in that.
What happened to Live Fast Motorsports?
They ran.
They're doing nothing.
I think they're doing better than Rick Ware.
They are. Slightly.
I haven't heard that team. I actually kind of forgot about that team. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, Now I'm the same. I haven't heard like a single word out of them.
Yeah.
They are ahead of all of the Rick Ware cars.
At least, it's not much, but at least it's something.
It's something.
Cindric is ahead of the 15 car and Starcom.
Oh my god.
He's
He's on what,
DNF
4
both of his
now?
races. Oh no, he didn't DNF Kansas, I don't think. Did he?
No.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, this would
so-
lead a string of cautions. I feel so bad for Stenhouse. I was talking about Chris Buescher getting robbed, but Stenhouse got robbed. He was staying out on the strategy. Came down pit road. He's like, okay, it didn't work out. We'll get him next time. Gets involved in two of the next 2 incidents. I feel so bad. He got a shove from like Chase Elliott or something. He got
Suarez.
a big Suarez. No, Suarez.
Another one of my favorites.
That was a stupid move. What he did, he just drove into the corner, shoving. He did what Larson did to Blaney. He didn't turn. He just drove into the corner.
Larson didn't. I was so.
Larson
Let's
is-
get to the restart. Let's get
I
to the
was
restart.
so
'cause it's
mad
time.
about
Okay, well,
that,
Christopher
dude.
Bell had a another top 10 day. This man is on. I'm telling you, he's still my championship pick, and I'm not even joking anymore. I think this man will actually win the championship. Have you seen the way he's been running? He's like top 5 most
No.
mile and a halves.
Dude, he's in the playoff standings. He's like the least in points of all the drivers that have won.
Well, he gets screwed consistently by everybody.
Oh yeah.
Shut up. At least he's not Kurt Busch. You
Bro,
want to talk about Kurt Busch?
It's
Kurt Busch is
Kurt Busch-
14 points out. Matt DiBenedetto came
12
from like 50
he's
points
12
out. Matt
points.
DiBenedetto
12
is ahead of
12 points.
12 points. Yeah, because
out.
that
It's
makes
not
it
as
better.
bad. We're doing so much better than you think. So the final restart.
We don't have to talk about the final restart. I don't like the
What
final.
even
Alright, so,
happened on the final?
Yeah, so on the final restart, on the bottom lane, it's Joe Gibbs' teammates of Truex and Kyle Busch, and on the top lane, it's Larson and Blaney. And okay, let's switch to Chris. So
Blaney is running his
Larson-
lane.
yeah,
Blaney's
Larson
running in lane.
and just hooks Larson, like not Larson.
No,
he
other
just
way
He didn't
around.
Blaney.
hook.
Other way around.
Well,
Larson,
well,
Larson-
Blaney.
you can't go that high in the corner and lock onto someone's bumper. And
Yeah,
and
that was all
expect it to
Larson right
work.
there.
Yeah, Larson just went.
Yeah.
He didn't even. I don't even think Larson turned. I saw him just go straight. He did. It was a stupid
But yeah, because the
move.
car doesn't turn when you're going that high and you're locked.
Larson is a stupid driver. I'll say that. I think he's over aggressive. I think that was a stupid move, which I think if he didn't make that move, he might have had a shot at the top 5. All the 4 tires and 2 tires were catching him, but he might have had a shot at the top 5. But he didn't because he screwed himself and Ryan Blaney over, which is really unfortunate for Blaney, not so much for Larson. But this is just another reason why I don't like Larson.
I was very sad with the outcome.
Also, shout out
Yeah,
to
that was
Trix
depressing.
B6. Mance was like 12th all day.
It's because he needed everyone else in front of him to spin out or something.
Shout out to Chase. He got put in the wall
Nope,
by Brad
nope,
and then came back to
nope,
a top
nope.
5 and like a half of that.
Well, Elliott went to the outside.
Benedetto got 4th.
Oh yeah, the
Nah.
Benedetto came out of nowhere and got 4th.
Yep. But I'm really happy. I want to see Kyle Busch have a bounce back season, and I think he will start getting better, but I don't think he'll go on like his 2017, 2018 days.
No, I don't think we'll ever see that out of him again.
No, I think his prime is. I think it's over.
Yeah.
I think his prime is over, but I still think he'll be pretty damn competitive.
He'll still be
will.
like a round of 8 contender, but I don't think he'll be a championship threat.
No, I mean your championship 4 right now should all be the same. It should be Truex, Hamlin, Logano, or Larson. Actually, I don't think it'll be Larson. I think Larson's gonna blow it. I think Larson
Larson
will
would definitely blow it in some way.
Dude,
look at the tracks he has to go
Byron.
to in the round of 8.
Byron.
Byron is the best Hendrick car right
Yeah.
now.
He is.
Chase Elliott's the worst
Consistently,
Hendrick car.
Yeah. Elliott's
Ah,
been really mediocre.
Bowman's had really bad luck, which I mean
Elliott
it's not.
doesn't have a win, but he's
Nah, but
He's
Bowman
ahead of
doesn't have
Larson right
luck,
now in
but like
points.
Elliott's just kind of like mediocre. He's like,
Yeah.
Elliott's ahead of Larson in points right now.
But yeah, because Bowman's been having a lot of bad days in like the mid-20s after running top 10.
Yeah, I would say Elliott has the best luck, if you could say, because he doesn't have any bad luck this season. Other than like Daytona Road Course, he's been. I can't remember the last. No. So. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna win. I don't think he's gonna win. Maybe until like the playoffs. I would say. I don't see him winning Coda.
I don't
know.
Well, like
dude, there's like tons of road courses. Like, he's good. He's good. Like he's good everywhere. He could win anywhere.
He's not good. Where's he not?
We're not going to Indy Oval anymore. We're not going to Kentucky anymore. It's like his 2 worst tracks off the schedule. So quickly, notable finishers. Matt Benedetto got 4th. Tyler Reddick bounced back to 7th. Chris Buescher 8th. William Byron another top 10 in 9th. Austin Dillon with a 3rd straight top 10 in 10th. Suarez bounces back to 11th. That's a good comeback for that team.
McDowell like Ross. What?
Yeah. Chastain's starting to click off consistent top 15, so that's good for him.
Oh God, Chastain beat his teammate. We can jump into fantasy.
I think we should.
Yeah.
I've got a strategy. It's a stupid one.
Troy would have first pick since he finished worst out of all of us.
I actually didn't finish worst.
Darlington, I'm picking Keselowski. He won there in the past, and he's probably, besides Tricks, he's probably like the best that I have in the lineup at Darlington.
Fair enough. Caden would be up next.
Okay. Chase Elliott is a really good road courser, bro. But I know Chase Briscoe's pretty good at road courses. And I don't trust Chase Briscoe. I don't trust Chase Briscoe anywhere else. So I'm going to pick Chase Elliott for Darlington.
Okay.
He's not bad there.
He's not
amazing there.
He could have
taken him. There.
Oh, he could have won last year. I forgot about it.
Well, he could have won the spring race. He shouldn't have won the fall race. That was just the package's fault.
Yeah, we're going to see who's actually good at Darlington here this week.
Yeah. Chase Elliott is going to finish dead last and screw me out of one race.
Since Nick finished first out of us, that puts me next.
Dude, you have an easy pick on this one. I see your easy pick. If you don't pick this guy, then
I don't know, because I got to think about the rest of the tracks that we're going to.
Yeah, Dover, Coda, Coke 600.
This is still easy.
No, I think I'm going to use this as my throwaway race.
Really?
Yeah, because I have an idea.
Oh, I like these ideas.
So I'm going to take Almirola this week. Get him out of the way.
Okay, so Dylan's is not good at like any other track on this.
Do you realize that we have the Coke 600?
Yeah, and
that is a fuel mileage race.
Okay.
Every year.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Almirola best not pull through and win the Coke 600. I will be furious.
Nick, you're last.
Where am I, guys? I literally
you have Newman, Custer, Truex, and Jones.
Where are we? Darlington?
Yeah.
Jones has not finished outside the top 5 at Darlington.
Yeah, Jones is God.
Well,
yeah, he's also not.
I was gonna take him anyway before I got cut off, but I'll take Jones. Yeah.
Smart man.
Smart dude. That there is fantasy.
Well, here is our special guest. We got Alex Labbe, 2017 Pinty Series champion. He's raced select races in Xfinity, and we're gonna ask him questions, ask him several stuff. So, Troy, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, I'll start you off. So I usually ask this to many drivers. What driver growing up influenced you the most to become a driver?
Yeah, I probably like Juan Montoya, because I was like a go-kart. I was racing go-karts when I was a kid, and I was watching a lot Formula One, and it was like my idol when he was running for BMW and in Formula One. So I kind of always looked up to him and kind of made the same path as him when we went from road racing open wheels to because I never really raced open wheels, but I went from go-karts to stock cars, and yeah, I'd say he was probably one of my biggest influences when I was younger.
Chris, do you have a question?
Yeah. All right. So, and I've only recently gotten into the Pinty series over the past couple of years as trying to diverse my racing knowledge more. What's one big takeaway that you're able to get from the Pinty series and take it to Xfinity when you moved over there?
Probably all the short track stuff, because I mean, Pinties are pretty much a late model, if I had to say. A little heavier than a late model, a little less aerodynamic, and a little higher roll center, all that stuff. But it looks a lot more like late model. Like if we think about super late model with tires and motor and stuff like that. But yeah, I'd say probably like short track and road course stuff for sure, a little bit. Even if the Xfinity cars are driving a little bit different, I'd say like the biggest difference between both are definitely that they're going from a bias ply tire to a radial tire in Xfinity. That's probably what's the biggest adaptation, I'd say.
For sure, that makes a lot of sense. I'll let Kay and Nick ask anything, and I'll try to figure out some more.
You want me to go? So my first one was obviously we don't see too many Canadians in NASCAR in general, but we don't especially see many make the jump from Pinty's to Xfinity. I was just wondering how that sort of transpired.
I think it worked out pretty good, because I've had a really good relation with Mario and the owner of DGM Racing, and we've been working together for a lot of time. I mean, he's helped me when I started racing late model. He was helping me build my cars and set up my cars and all that stuff. So he's helped me on the technical part, and he's helped me as a driver. Also, he's been my like kind of a driver coach since I started racing, since I did the transition from go-karts to stock cars. So we've had a pretty long relation, and I'd say that's probably why I'm not 100% convinced, but I'm pretty sure if Mario and DGM Racing were in trucks, I would have probably started in trucks. That's probably why I went in that direction, just because and Mario was with me in 2017. He was my crew chief full time when we won a Pinty's championship. So kind of made a lot of sense just to go with him and try to run full time in Xfinity in 2018.
All right, nice. My second question is overall this year, what would you say would constitute a successful season?
I'd say, I mean, I've said it before I started the year. I knew it was going to be tough. We finished 14th last year in points, and I knew it was going to be really tough to beat that. And because it was really pretty strong effort, and with the strength of, I think that the field got even stronger this year. But I feel like we can still go finish in the top 15 in championship. But I feel like what we're really aiming for is like our race results. I mean, we finished fourth last year at the Roval. That was our best result so far. So I mean, we just want to make it better. We just want to go run and finish in the top three or somewhere, or maybe still a win. That'd be a success for the 36 team this year.
Yeah, and I know you just mentioned it. And my last question was about racing in the rain last year at the Roval, where you got your first top five. I was wondering, just knowing your experience racing in the rain at the Pinty Series, I remember seeing a few races at Mosport where it was raining. Do you almost hope that it rains in a weekend to improve your chances, or do you still prefer racing in the dry?
It depends. I mean, every other track I wouldn't mind, but I'd say like especially the Roval. I mean, dry or wet, that track really fits my driving style. We finished sixth there the year before, and we had motor issues, and I feel like going back in 2020, I knew even if it was going to be dry, we were really aiming for a top five and go out there to get a strong run. But now for sure, I mean, I like to run. I just like to run in the rain, and I just think it fits my driving style. Even like, because like a Roval is a track where there's like really low grip, and you really gotta be smooth and really get it back your corners up a lot. And I've always done really good there. So I feel like that's pretty much what you got to do in the rain. You just gotta be really smooth and don't overdrive. So now for sure, I really enjoy doing the rain. Even Road America, that was the first road course of the year. We led some laps there with Allmendinger, and we were really, really strong there in the rain. So I mean, I really don't mind. It's not the thing that's most fun to do, because the visibility is pretty awful in these cars. But for sure, if we can run better, I feel like we can run in the rain, no doubt.
So my question is, as you are one of like the very few Canadian born, like coming up to the NASCAR Xfinity Series, how does it really feel representing your whole country as a stock car racer?
It's pretty cool for sure, especially that I won a championship in 2017. Then we made a transition, so it was really cool to see all the support from Canadians and French Canadians, because I'm from the French part of Canada. But It's pretty special. We got really good support. Me and Raphael here in Quebec. I mean, we got a pretty good fan base. I feel like I really wish the Xfinity Series would come back to Montreal, because that'd be huge for us. We'd have some. I feel like Montreal is an awesome. I mean, the racetrack is fun itself, but I mean, I feel like the atmosphere and just having a racetrack downtown Montreal, like it's the emplacement where it's situated, it'd be pretty cool. And like I said, I feel like the Quebec, the French Canadian fan base are pretty solid.
Yeah. Especially like growing up in Canada, like same with Nick, we tend to go to a lot of like short tracks, whether it be just Pinties or just local short tracks. So it's really cool seeing you to make it to the Xfinity Series for sure.
Thanks, man.
No problem.
Yeah. You mentioned road racing and different types of road course style tracks. What's one track that, and we asked this with Andy Lally last week, so I'm gonna ask you this one. What's one track in the world that you really want to run at?
That's a good question. Probably, I don't know. Probably Nürburgring. It'd be pretty awesome. Just a unique track. I'd say just something completely different. 10-minute lap. That'd be probably a pretty cool experience.
I think he said that, and what was the other one he said? Spa. I think that's what he said
Bathurst,
last week.
Bathurst.
Oh, he said Bathurst too. Yeah.
Yeah, Bathurst. Yeah, that'd be definitely my top 3 for sure.
Yeah, those tracks are insane.
Yeah.
I had
Troy,
one more
you got
question.
one more?
Just a few weeks ago, it was about a week or a month ago, we heard about the Chicago street course news, and I was just wondering, from your Pinty's experience driving at Toronto, Trois-Rivières, I was wondering if there's anything from racing there that you think you can take into there next year and put a good run together.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I feel like it's gonna be even tougher with a NASCAR car, like a NASCAR Xfinity or a camping or a truck, because I mean, like I was talking earlier, I repeat myself, but the tires way different. It's a lot less forgiving. So on a street course, it'd be pretty tough because it's really bumpy and there's a bunch of stuff going on, and you lose traction a lot. But for sure, it's gonna be a huge challenge. Like Trois-Rivières, I feel like Trois-Rivières, it's always a fun track to run in the Pinty Series, but like Toronto is really, really tough. Probably the toughest track I've ever run in my life. Just to run there on the edge, it's really challenging. It's really tight, and there's no place for error, and there's not a lot of place to pass also. So now for sure, I mean, I think it's possible to run these NASCAR cars on street course, but it's definitely a really big challenge.
For sure.
I'll go next. So we've seen you as one of the strongest road course racers in the Xfinity field these days in recent years. And there's even more road courses this year on the schedule. So what road course are you most confident for this year on the schedule?
Definitely the roll. Like I said earlier, I don't know. That track fits my driving style really good. We've had awesome runs there. Even like the first ever year, we qualified 5th, and we were 2nd in the first round, like a couple thousandths off Cindric. But we lost an axle in the first lap, so I think we were 2 or 3 laps down, and we ended up finishing like 10th or 11th. So, and the next 2 years finished 6th and 4th. So it's really a track where it fits my driving style. I don't know. I mean, I kind of know a little bit why. Like I said earlier, because I'm smoother. I'm a smooth driver, and I really back my corners a lot. I feel like you got to let the car roll in the corner. But it's definitely a track where I feel like we got the best shot at a win this year.
Yeah. And my second question is that how confident are you for COTA this month?
I mean, I've never ran there, but I've been logging quite a few laps on iRacing yet, and I had already ran it before a little bit on iRacing. So, and I mean, it's gonna be a challenge. It's gonna be new for everybody. It's gonna be really tough. I feel like it's a bunch of really like different sections, different corners, like really fast corners, big, and then big braking zones and really slow corners. So it's gonna be definitely we're gonna have to go there with a good car, and definitely some really good braking cooling, because I feel like the brakes are going to be abused used quite a bit, and and definitely like running against guy like Lally and real road racers that have run there a lot. It's gonna be a big challenge, because I know we've always like performed really good in road racing, but I've never road raced anything else than a stock car. So some people tag me as a road racer, but the only thing I've road raced before going into stock cars were karting when I was a kid. So I've always been a short track racer, but I've always enjoyed the road racing part of NASCAR.
And just I had another question kind of that had to do with Troy's about road course racing. And you mentioned running, near or even leading with guys like Allmendinger, Cindric, like guys who are really known as world-class road racers. And I was wondering if that gave you any confidence with your team being in a lower level team, even on ovals, that you can maybe run with the best of the best.
Yeah, for sure. It's always a confidence booster for sure. I mean, especially like I was saying in 18 at the Roval, where we were like in the top 5 in every practice sessions, and we're second in the first round of qualifying. So that was really huge for us. But now we've definitely come a long way, I think, too, with DGM racing. We've 2018 was pretty much the first year that they were. I mean, they've run. I think they kind of ran full time in 17, but it was. I mean, we ran 2 cars in 18, and that was the first year we were really like going out there for points and everything. And I think we've came from a long way from since the DGM came in Xfinity, and every year we're gaining and gaining a lot in speed. And it's just been a rough start of the year for us, but I feel like our program is a lot better, is even better than last year, and we just need some consistency, and at least the speed is there, and we just keep building on it, and we'll get there. Just so we can finish wherever we're supposed to finish every week, instead of finishing 10 or 15 spots behind.
So we mentioned a lot about road racing and Xfinity and Pinty's. What's one big thing that a lot of people don't know about your or coming up through the ranks in racing that really projected everything?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm more of a short track racer. I've won a lot of short track races in late model here up north and in Canada, and I've never won a road course race. So that's crazy. Like, because like I said earlier, people tag me as a road racer, but I've actually never won it. I've been close a couple times in the Pinty series, but actually never really won a road course race, except when I was a kid, when I was growing up running go-karts. So yeah, that's probably something people don't really know about me, because I don't know, people assume that I've been racing on road courses throughout the States and Canada, and I've in real I don't know, GT or GT series stuff like that, but that's really not the case. The only cars I've run on road courses were stock cars. So I don't, probably definitely, like I said, people would the thing that they don't know that is I've got really a background of a short track racer, not a road racer.
Should we just shoot our
great
question
that we always do?
Yeah.
All reliable.
All reliable.
Troy, you do it. I did it last week.
Oh, I'm doing it. Okay. So we ask this every week, every time we have a guest. So do you have like a funny moment that you've had in like racing or at the track or any of that you could share to us in your career?
Funny moment. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. I'm trying to think about it, but there's a bunch. I mean, my teammate is Josh Williams, so he's quite the clown. He's always got something on his mind, but I can't tell one right now on top of my head. Sorry about that. I would think about it though. Maybe if later on it gets to me, I'll share it with you guys.
All right, I'll ask this. Just take us through your racing career a little bit and what's really brought you to where we're at today.
Yeah, just like I said a little bit earlier, just I ran a lot of kartings from 6 to 11. It's really where I developed my competitiveness in racing, and I run a little bit of 4-wheelers during the winter on ice racing, and that was always a thing I was doing during the winter. And then whenever I started really being a little more serious about my racing in stock car, that's when I quit, because I broke my leg, I broke my hand, and I broke a couple bones there running four wheeler. So it was a little more extreme, but I've always enjoyed it because it was quite the thrill. But now I'd say I think I started running stock cars when I was 14 or 15. I started running a provincial series here in Quebec. It was a truck series. Then I moved up to the ACT late model ranks in 2010. So when I was around 16 or 17. Yep, ran there for a couple of years, then moved on to the Pinty series full time in 16. I had been running part time in the Pinty series since like 2012 or 13, and we are always trying to figure a deal, trying to get her some sponsors to run full time, and we're finally able to do it in 16, and we won a championship in 17, and that's when I moved down south to the Xfinity series, and that's history. That's where I'm at right now, and still chasing that first win in Xfinity.
Yeah, that first one would be something to see. So was getting into racing at such a young age, was that your idea, your fascination with racing, or does your family have like a history, or even our parents or something like that, like fans of racing that got you into it?
Yeah, my dad's always been pretty big fan. He's raced on a little bit for fun and some like amateur stuff, really nothing serious, but he just brought me and my brother to a karting track when I was 5 or 6, and we went out there and kart and do some go-kart, and I don't know, but that like a couple of months later we both started racing go-karts, so that's pretty much how it started. He was involved, like he was going to stock car races, like dirt modified races with one of his friends, and we'd always been around racing a little bit, but that's pretty much where it started. I'd say going to a go-kart track and having some fun with my family and friends, and the rest was history. We started racing and we never looked back. I mean, like I said earlier, I started racing at 6 or 7, and it's been nonstop since then. All my summers, that's what I do. That's what I do 24/7. Pretty much. And I mean, we don't, like I said earlier, we don't race here in the winter because winter are a little rougher than down south. But I was racing 4-wheeler stuff, and so it's yeah, it's been my life's been all about racing since I was 6 or 7.
I had another question about the 2017 Pinty's year. I remember you and Kevin Lacroix had a pretty good rivalry going throughout the year. I was just wondering if you enjoy rivals like that, enjoy having such fierce competition.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've always enjoyed it. I've always been a pretty tough competitor, and Kevin's definitely a really tough competitor too. So, no, we were battling for a championship and the entire year, and it went all down to the wire to the last couple of races. And yep, I think Hanniganish, that's pretty much where I sealed the championship, and he had a penalty because he retaliated under the caution after the race, and it sheared my car in half, but tear all the body off the car. But yeah, it was pretty entertaining, I'd say, for the fans. But it was a really good rivalry. I think that the next race was Autodrome Saint Eustache, and I've never seen that place packed like that because Kevin. I'm from Quebec. I'm probably like an hour and a half, 2 hours from that track, but Kevin lives like right next to the track and probably a couple of minutes from there. So yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure the owners of the Autodrome Saint Eustache were pretty happy because we packed that place pretty good after that thing that happened in Hanniganish, and we were battling for a championship pretty hard. So it was I think. I mean, it was. I'm definitely going to remember it for a long time because that was a pretty intense rivalry.
Yeah, it was very fun to watch.
Nick said about the rivalry there. And one question none of us have asked, I'm kind of surprised by that, by all of us. Who's someone that you really enjoy racing week in and week out in the Xfinity series, or just someone you find yourself always around that you're like, all right, this is going to be fun. Like, let's go.
That's a good question. Yeah, that's a pretty good question. I'd say, and it always depends. I mean, I've always had a really good relation with Jeremy Clements. We've had a little. I mean, we at Martinsville we got together a little bit, and that kind of it got rough a little bit. But I'd say that's probably Jeremy. I've always had a good relation with him in the pits and in the garage, and we always raced pretty hard, but usually pretty clean. But yeah, I'd say probably him. We've always been we've been around since I got into series, and he's kind of helped me. He's always been a good guy with me, like him, and I said Jeremy, and even my first year, Russ Chastain was always around me, and he was helping me a lot too with just getting used to it, because I've never really run on big tracks. I think I only ran like 2 races in Xfinity before I came full time. So him and Russ were pretty good to me, I'd say, especially my first year when I came in the series in 18.
That's pretty cool. There's a lot of guys that, say they'll like this person or that person, but it's always good to get those stories of off the track that really show that you like being around them.
Thanks, Alex Labbe, for coming on. Just tell us where our fans can find you at. Like, what's your Instagram, your Twitter, or your Facebook and stuff like that?
Yep, Twitter, Instagram. Pretty much, it's Alex Labbe 36, and my Facebook is my racing page is Alex Labbe. So yeah, you can follow me on there. I mean, I try to be as active as I can, but I'm definitely more active on Facebook than all the other platforms. But trying to work on that part for sure. Trying to stay active on all the platforms.
Yep. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, good luck at Darlington.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on the show. It was really fun.
Yeah, it was good to talk to you.
Thank you. Yeah, we're doing throwbacks. I was just gonna use my post that I posted today.
Your post
even though
doesn't have
it's a
everything.
tiny bit outdated.
Yeah.
I gotta look. Let me.
I don't know
look
any
at your
like.
post and find my favorite.
We'll
thing.
do like favorite, and then go through everyone, and then we'll do least favorite in order again.
Cold.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
Chris, you want to start it off?
Chris clearly isn't ready.
Chris is not ready.
He's not
Troy, you
ready.
want to start it off?
I'll start it off. So no specific order because I just can't. Jeremy Clements, throwback to Dale Jarrett. It's a really nice one. I'll put that on top tier. This might be a little bit of a controversial one, but Ross Chastain's to Jimmy Spencer. I don't know why it just pops out. And it's really nice. And number 3, I'm gonna put Jade Buford. It was a 2, Mark Donahue or something like that. Dan Gurney.
Yeah, Dan Gurney.
I keep 2 different road racing people.
All right.
Yeah, I kidding.
My third favorite, I'm gonna give an honorable mention out of the way. Martin Truex Jr.'s throwback, honorable mention. I couldn't put myself on it. I put it top 3.
You can't.
My third favorite
lie like
is
that.
I can't lie that much. Eric Jones's throwback to John Andretti, was it?
Yes, John
Yep.
Andretti.
Beautiful scheme. My second is it's Colin Garrett's Hot or 26. It's
Hot
26. I
Yeah.
love that. And number 1 is Jade Buford's. I love that. The second I saw that, it looks so good, like the original. It looks so good, the original, but I like the throwback. Like it looks so good. That's just my point.
Dude, I'll start and I'll go right along with that. My honorable mention will be Byron's throwback, as I found 3 more that definitely ranked above it. Jay Buford definitely is on mine. I'll put that as 3rd. I love that they were able to get the AAR on the car. That was honestly sick. 2nd will be Josh Berry's throwback to Junior, because that car is so maxy. Like you can't even deny that. And then the last one is going to be Sheldon Creed's throwback to Jason Leffler, because that scheme, I like that scheme a lot, because it didn't change for years. And there's 1 year in particular where that scheme was.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll start it off. 3rd for my least, the best of the worst, I guess you could say for me. Personally, it's Kyle Larson's throwback. Not Kyle Larson. I meant Alex Bowman's, because I meant the teal and the purple. Oh, it doesn't work well for me. It's a good idea. I like how it's like sentimental to what is it? His crew chief or is it himself?
Great guys.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's sentimental. That's cool and all, but I don't think it looks good. Number 2 is Justin Haley's throwback.
Throwback.
It looks. I'll give it. I like it, but it's not a throwback, I would say. And my least favorite throwback is Josh Berry's. I don't like it. I don't. I know. I don't
Leave.
like it. I don't know. It something about it is just it's cool, but I don't see the hype. Like I see why people like it because it's Mr. Goddale Jr. himself. People love him, but I don't think it looks that good. I'm gonna be completely honest. I haven't seen it on track yet, so it could look better in person, but it's currently my least favorite. It might be my least favorite. It's definitely up there. I think I dislike the Bowman a little bit more.
Well, Troy, you want to go or me?
I'll go. So,
All right.
Jeffrey Earnhardt's picture
Oh my god.
to Dale Earnhardt, it just doesn't look good. There's a 0 in that kind of font. It just looks really bad. You just can't pull it off. There's no way. Of course, Justin Haley's throwback we're gonna add in there.
I know it's number 1.
And number 1, who did I have as number 1? Oh yeah, this is gonna be Anthony Alfredo's throwback.
Wow.
What throwback is that?
It just doesn't. Here, I'll pull it up right now.
It's run every year. Someone does it.
I'm just
year.
just doesn't look good to me. I have no interest in it.
Everyone does it every year, or someone does at least.
You know who does that every year? Front row does that every year.
Yeah, they're just changing the driver. They're pulling a Truex and running the same scheme, but just changing the driver.
Yeah.
My Torton. Speaking of Truex, his throwback is on my list of worst because it's a throwback from 4 years ago.
At least it's not.
No. It's from 4 years ago. That is not a throwback.
Looks nice though.
No, it don't.
For memes, I should have put the Stenhouse on throwback on my list.
We forgot about that.
Speaking of Stenhouse, that is another one that makes my list because I am big brain and put that one on my list.
That scheme was a legitimately
that would have
nice
been number
scheme.
1.
And for the last one is Harrison Burton's bullshit excuse for a throwback that doesn't have colors matching. The number font looks so weird.
That reminds me of Eric Jones's throwback in 2020 last year.
Yeah, it's just awful. It's just awful. That's not a throwback. And that looks nothing close to what the actual car did. So all in all, those
Xfinity has some nice throwbacks though. Top 2 for me, honestly. And Eric Jones's throwback. Eric Jones has no bad schemes this year. So let's start off. How has this season shaped up? Like, do you guys like this season more than recent years?
Yeah, 100%. Dude, every different person is winning. We're already at 10 different winners, and we're only 11 races into the season.
This is like the last season this good was 2014, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like 2017 as an honorable mention to that.
2017 was good because there was no bad about it, I think. Like package,
it had like
the
everything.
package,
2017.
Yeah, the package was good. There was your like upset winners. Everybody likes to have like once or twice a year.
Yeah, a lot of first times.
There was a lot of first times. There was Dylan. There was
2011
Blaney.
was like that too.
Blaney, yes. And I think that season was actually probably one of the most underrated seasons of the 2010 decade.
Kansas in his final win. We had rivalries like Chase and stuff like that.
Chase was rival with everyone.
We had Junior retiring, and then we had that final laps at Homestead, which was crazy.
Playoffs were insane that year too.
Yeah,
like the first round was kind of lackluster.
Logano missing the playoffs. That was
funny. That was hilarious.
That was funny.
And I really can't obviously there was definitely bad races in 2020 or 2017, but like I feel like for the majority, most of them were like pretty good, like decent to like pretty good. Because I remember there was quite a lot of overtime finishes, or like green white checkers in 2017, if I can remember.
But 2017 had that stupid overtime line. That was the
That
only
is
bad
true.
part about it.
They took that away. They took that away like mid-season, I think.
They took it away after the Brickyard.
After the
I'm pretty
Brickyard,
sure.
right?
Was it after? Because that's when Casey.
Yeah,
Gaines won.
because they weren't able, because it was on like the backstretch, right? In the middle of the backstretch, and it was like by the computer. So you had to wait to see if they even touched it, because like it wasn't like visible to like of course, to everyone. It was so stupid.
In my opinion, I think this season is better than 2020, no doubt already. I think no matter how much the season ends, this season is better than 2020.
Yeah.
It's probably right now, because there's no true dominant winners. I gotta say, this is probably the best season of the Gen 6 era.
I still think
I feel like that's hard to say racing wise, because we've had a few like
packages.
Yeah.
Well, there's only been like one or two bad races.
I mean, we've had a diverse winners, but we had diverse winners 2014 too, an amazing package.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll see. I'd say that
I'm gonna say I think 2014 was kind of a little bit slightly overrated. I think 2014 was good, but I also think people are kind of just missing it because nostalgic reasons and just because it was like
because Gordon was competing for the championship most of the year. That's why
it was because it was like the last year that like everyone that we kind of grew up with was actually like on their peak.
Yeah, I think this season is good. I think I'd say, in my opinion, it's the best. Obviously, 2017 is always going to have a special place in me. So I don't think it will never touch that. But I do think it's the best season I've watched since 2017, no doubt. Yeah. I think after that, it'd be like 2019. 2019 was criminally underrated, in my opinion.
Well, it's definitely better.
I couldn't take that season because they ran the high downforce
everywhere.
Everywhere. You couldn't pass most places, bro.
I know you couldn't pass. I don't know. Something about 2019 was a vibe. I think it was just 2019 as a whole year, not just NASCAR was just good. Oh, that's good. We got really off topic there.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we're rating every other season, but
here.
Daytona 500. Let's start off.
Team
rankings. Okay, let's do top teams first. Hendrick Motorsports. I'm gonna give them a B+. I think they're doing.
Yeah, A-.
I think B+ because they've been inconsistent, but they've also been really good. They've been I'd say second or I don't know. I don't know where to rank them because I think
they're probably
Gibbs and Penske have been better. I'd say still.
Well, those three are definitely the top teams. There's no.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah, like it's criminal to rank them outside of the top three. I also don't know how you rank any of them. I'd probably put Hendrick third.
Yes, I would put Hendrick third just because two of them are kind of lackluster with Elliott and Bowman.
Penske and Gibbs, I don't know.
I want to give the edge to Gibbs because all four of them have been race-winning contenders.
Back to what he was saying, I mean, I kind of agree, yeah. Because, like, Logano has been really hit or miss for most races.
Yeah, but he's fourth in points.
Yeah, he's been really hit or miss because he hasn't been like winning contention. Like, look at Gibbs. Bell's been pretty inconsistent. He won, but he's been pretty inconsistent. But like everyone else, like Busch has been up front. Hamlin's been beyond up front, but hasn't been winning.
Busch has been
and Truex has been Truex is the only multiple time winner. So,
Busch has only been up front for like 2 races.
He's been kind of quiet. I feel like it's been amazing, but he's been kind of quiet. Top 10, top 5.
I don't know. I feel like you can look at Gibbs. All their drivers have now won. Penske. All their drivers have now won. But Penske also has half of the top 6 in the standings.
Sure.
Yeah, like they're.
I want to give the edge to Penske because they're all good, but I want to give the edge to Gibbs because they have one more driver and they're still all being round of 8 contenders. I would argue. I think you could argue that. I think Penske, or no doubt, all three are round of 8 contenders. The only lackluster people at those teams are Penske. I would say Logano is kind of a step behind the other two.
Yeah.
I'd say Logano's win was kind of not like lucky, but it was. I still don't think he's shown what he can really do this season. And like my championship pick, kind of lackluster, but he's still my championship pick.
Yeah, he's kind of fallen off a little bit recently.
No, he's not. He's going to be the champion.
Yeah.
No, he's not, dog. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. So after Hendrick, who would you guys take?
I would take RCR.
I agree.
Solid,
Austin Dillon is a good amount of top 10. I wouldn't be surprised if like half or more of the races this year he's gotten a top 10. And Reddick,
Tyler Reddick has
had a lot of bad luck, but he's got a top. Now. Yeah, he had second Homestead, and then he had a tiny top 10 streak around like Bristol and Martinsville, I think, like that. And of course, last week at a top 10. So he's getting there.
I would say I don't know if you throw Wood Brothers with or just by themselves or what.
Nah,
they're technically by themselves.
They are by themselves, but I'd still put them behind RCR.
Well, yeah, I would put them behind RCR.
I'd put Roush Fenway ahead of Wood Brothers just because Wood Brothers got off to an extremely rocky start.
Yeah. And then after that,
Busher's just like really good.
Busher and Newman.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Newman. Yeah, Newman's like a step behind, but like he's had a really bad like most races, but by the end of the race, he usually kind of like clutches like a top 20, top 15.
Here's a good one. Do you guys put JTG or Ganassi above who?
JTG above
JTG, because both drivers of JTG were in the playoffs at one point, and Stenhouse just fell out of the playoffs.
And that's only because he got shit luck at Kansas. So,
yeah. Kurt's been really mediocre, and then Chastain was really mediocre, but he's slowly stepping it up.
Chastain better than Kurt Busch confirmed. Okay.
Now
move on next team.
2 new highlighted teams of this year.
Trackhouse by miles. Get out of here.
Okay.
Don't even.
No, that's not really a debate, in my opinion. Yeah. I think Trackhouse has been. I'd say for a new team, I'd give them an A+. Honestly, they're a new team. They're jumping into this, and they're fired right out of the gate.
What would you give 2311?
2311 gets a C+. They have the speed, but they can't finish anything out. Like Bubba was like top 12 half of the race yesterday, but I mean he almost spun out, but like they can't finish the races, and he finished mid-20s or whatever.
Something can always goes wrong when they're doing well. Something always goes wrong, and I feel bad, but I mean it's kind of a part of racing. You're gonna have unlucky, and then you're gonna be lucky sometimes, and they're always pulling the short end of the stick. I think I do expect them to pick it up, but I've also expected them to pick it up quite a bit of races ago. So I'd give them a C+ just because they've been underperforming.
I think, and this is gonna sound bad to everyone that's gonna listen. I think they might be the most overrated debut team in the history of NASCAR.
I don't blame it because Bubba Wallace, Denny Hamlin getting into racing, of course, MJ. So I don't blame the hype, but
obviously it was going to be overrated. I think we all knew it was going to be overrated from the start.
The way they talked about it too.
That is true. They expected to
the way Jordan talked about it.
They're like, we're here to win. No, you're here to get barely top 20s. Calm down.
Yeah. And now Denny's really like speaking out about that. He's not happy with the finishes, and he kind of he said before Kansas, he's like they need to start getting races together and finishing races where
he got mad at Bubba at Talladega because Bubba wasn't being a team player.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't think that necessarily. What is Bubba's deal? Like, how many years is that? Is that 1 year?
No, I think it was 2 or 3.
Okay, well, if it's 2 or 3, yeah.
Also, I don't know why Denny's talking out of all drivers.
Oh, Denny's the
Denny
least
doesn't
team
work
player.
as a teammate at the super speedways either.
Daytona Summer 2020 has a chance to push Truex and go to victory lane. Like, arguably, he could have gone to victory lane, but he decided, let's make it 3 wide and lose our chance to win. Could have helped the team. It could have been 1-2. That would have been fantastic.
Let's
but
not ignore every 500 in recent history too. So
yeah. That's just the first one that comes to my mind. That still angers me. That final lap.
So for him to
hated
say
that
that about
race.
Bubba at
Entire
Apex
race.
is kind of stupid. So
I would put after, actually, I'd say Trackhouse, or not Trackhouse, 2311 is currently the worst, not the worst team in NASCAR, but I would say it is, out of all the teams I would have expected, they are the worst. Because I didn't expect Stuart Haas to be as bad as they are. I expected them to be not as good as they were, though. I expected Stuart Haas to be Harvick have maybe 3 or 4 wins. Maybe Almirola sneaks a win.
lucked one. Yeah.
Lucked one. Maybe Custer Briscoe get a fuel mileage or something like that. Or Talladega would. I didn't expect them to be this bad, though.
I would put them behind 2311.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, you could definitely argue that. I'd give Stuart Haas Racing an F, honestly.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I'd probably put them. I don't know if I want to put them below Petty or not, but it's
No, I'm not putting them below Petty. Petty, it has been disappointing. I will say that. But I think you got to realize most of why they were running so well was because Bubba was bringing in sponsorship and the cars were better. So, I expected them not. But, Jones has had some pretty damn good runs.
Yeah.
I think it was Bristol Dirt he ran top 10. Talladega. It could have been 3 in a row at Talladega, if you're being completely honest. Spring 2020, fall 2020. Oh, fall 2020. I forgot about that race. Oh, my God.
Yeah, we don't need to mention that race.
Oh, my God. And they got absolutely door slammed by, who was it? Anthony Alfredo Casgrove. One of the untalented rookies. It doesn't matter. I'm joking. I'm sorry.
After that, I'd go Furniture Row, then Spire.
Furniture Row.
Front row.
Or front row.
Yeah.
I always mix those two up.
Alfredo's really holding them back because McDowell's having a really good season for their standards, and Alfredo just mid 30s and running with Rick Ware. It's really bad.
I don't blame him though. He has almost no talent. I didn't mean that. I meant no
experience.
That's what I was going for. I promise you he has some talent, I hope.
He's the next Byron. His career started on a computer.
His career did it actually?
Yeah.
No, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I think we've gone through every team, so I think we all agree.
Ralph is below Rick Ware Racing because they're all the same. They're all terrible.
Do we want to
don't
rank
James Davison?
Well, except for James Davison, yes.
James Davison and Rick Ware Racing. That's their name.
Yeah, James Davison doesn't count as part of Rick Ware Racing because he's actually somewhat decent compared to the rest of the team. Actually, he's pretty solid.
If Elliott doesn't win next week, James Davison should get the ride. He's basically the same. He's a road course racer. Smoking that Chase Elliott pack.
Once again, thank you, Alex Labbe, for joining us on this episode and answering all of our questions. And good luck at Darlington. And if you made it this far in the episode, thank you for watching and or listening. And like, comment, subscribe, leave a review. Check us out, Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, stuff like that, all that stuff. And we'll see you after Throwback Weekend.